Hey everybody, Geek Will here, and today I want to talk about these things. So this is SOPA and PIPA, two bills that are designed to protect the internet from online pirates, like this guy. And what SOPA and PIPA want to be able to do is to take this guy and put an end to him. Because, as is understandable, they don't want people taking the intellectual property of others. But here's where one of the two major problems comes in, because of YouTuber 8368. Now, YouTuber 8368 puts a video online, and a little fragment of music falls in his video, something like that, and suddenly a company doesn't like that. Now, companies have lots and lots of money. Note the lots and lots of money. And companies also have lots and lots of copyrights. Note the lots and lots of copyrights. You end up getting a very corrupt political system in which it is possible for big companies like this to shut down YouTubers like this guy. Remember what I said SOPA would do to guys like this? The problem with SOPA was the way in which it was worded. And this is not something that's new. The original SOPA, the one from a few months ago, was worded very terribly, so that when they rip in half YouTubers like that, they don't just rip in half YouTubers like that. They rip in half YouTube. And even though it doesn't explicitly state it within the bill, what this becomes is a lot more power to the federal government. People lose part of their power over themselves. People lose their freedom. And so the question is, what do you put first? Piracy or freedom? And eventually, these bills turn into this book. And so now I'd like to give you a brief history of what I'm now declaring the battles of SOPA and PIPA. On one side, we have the big companies with lots of copyrights, who have lobbyists who are taking all that money to the US government and taking it and helping pay for politicians' campaigns and helping the politicians promote their ideas, and in turn the politicians have to do something back for them. Hello politicians, we know you're sort of busy, but we donated a lot of money to your campaign, so we were wondering if you could do us a little favor. And so you have millions and millions and millions of dollars going towards paying for SOPA and PIPA to be voted through the United States House and the United States Senate. But then something amazing happened. I introduce to you now the other side of the battle, the internet. And this is actually a fairly poor representation of the internet. As you can see, it's times 0.000001, which is probably still small. And the internet did this. Wikipedia blacked out. Google sort of blacked out. They blacked out their front page, but they also organized a petition and a way for you to send letters to your representative and senator automatically. Reddit blacked out. TwitPic blacked out. Mojang and Minecraft blacked out. Tazon Day put up a straight black video. Apprentice A did not put up their daily vlog. These are two. There are lots of other YouTubers who did very similar things. And remember that petition that I showed you over on Google? 7 million people signed it. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the internet. I told you this was a very small representation of what they actually were. The people spoke and the people were heard. And so, in one of the very rare cases in history, we can say that democracy triumphed. So ladies and gentlemen, SOPA and PIPA has not passed. The internet has won this battle in my eyes. Thursday, January 18th, the battle of SOPA and PIPA, the day the internet blacked out. Now, of course, the US government is still having to deal with these problems, because behind SOPA and PIPA is intellectual property rights. And intellectual property rights are an important thing. And what I thought was most incredible about this whole SOPA and PIPA battle was that people were extremely educated about SOPA and PIPA. And I think this is a great model for the US people to learn how they should deal with issues. Because this is a government by the people, for the people. Because even though we may be divided on issues like abortion and gay marriage and healthcare, we can still be educated, we can still have a voice, we can still talk to our representatives and make a difference. Because what I see so much of today is people just letting the government take care of it. just letting the government deal with the healthcare problem. Let the government deal with the abortion problem. Let the government deal with the gay marriage problem. It is our duty to be educated on the subjects like SOPA and PIPA that will have a direct effect on our lives. And more importantly, we have a duty to be educated on the issues that aren't going to directly affect us. Because you may not be a YouTuber, and you may not be directly affected by this today, but first it's the internet, and then it's the televisions, and then it's the newspapers, and then it's the books. And I hate to sound like some horrible conspiracy theorist who thinks that the government is going to take over everything and that we're losing control of our lives. But issues like this can become extremely real very quickly. And if you don't think that these issues become real, I'd like to leave you with a poem by Martin Niemöller. You're going to have to excuse me, I'm going to have to read this because I don't have it memorized. When the Nazis came for the communists, I remained silent. I was not a communist. When they locked up the Social Democrats, I remained silent. I was not a Social Democrat. When they came for the trade unionists, I did not speak out. I was not a trade unionist. When they came for the Jews, I remained silent. I wasn't a Jew. When they came for me, there was no one left to speak out.